The near-term pace of EV adoption will be slower than expected, which is going to benefit early movers like Ford. Said CEO Jim Farley, EV customers are brand loyal, and we're winning lots of them with our high-volume, first-generation products. We're making smart investments in capabilities and capacity around the world. And while others are trying to catch up to us, we have a clean sheet. Next generation products in advanced development that will simply blow people away. That's what Jim Farley said after it was revealed that Ford lost $32,000 on every EV it sold in the second quarter of 2023. Ford lost so much money on every electric car it sold in the second quarter of this year that it's not funny. $32,000 per car. Maybe there's a reason why Ford doesn't actually want to hit its 600,000 EVs per year run rate by the end of this year. Well, that could be a good reason, because you know what that'd mean? If even 30% of the cars that Ford sold were electric, they'd lose billions of dollars in a single quarter. How this number is possible? How on earth can Ford lose $32,000 per car that they sold? What is going on at Ford? Well, here's what Jim Farley had to say. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans and I'm the Electric Viking. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Great to have you. Welcome back, everyone else. If you're watching the channel regularly and you'd like to support the channel, that would be amazing. I'll put a link in the description below to our Patreon page and also to our YouTube members page. YouTube members, you can actually watch some of our videos a few days in advance. Ford's Q2 earnings showed some interesting results for the company. Now, clearly, this was to be expected. Ford would make a fair bit of money from its internal combustion engine vehicles in the short term. In the long term, that would change, and that's what's happening right now. Ford Blue Ice and Ford Pro Commercial, those sides of the business made some good profit. However, its Model E division, which handles Ford's electric cars, did not. Ford Blue made $2.3 billion in pre-tax profit. Ford Pro brought in $2.4 billion, and Model E lost $1.1 billion. Incredible that they lost $32,000 per car. What's really incredible about all of this is, imagine if Ford had delivered the number of cars this year that they were supposed to deliver, the number of EVs. Right now, Ford dealerships are saying they've had a lot of electric car cancellations for their Mustang Mach E and the F-150 Lightning. The same thing as well for both vehicles. Of course, the Lightning has received 5 price increases until it recently got 1 discount. 1 discount, I'm going to guess, came after a lot of people cancelled after seeing 5 price increases, which is fair. However, Mach E is super cheap. It's $44,000 right now for the base model, which is an incredibly good price, incredibly affordable. I mean, think about that, right? You're going to get one for about $37,000 after the EV incentive in the US. That's amazing. But it somehow means Ford are losing insane amounts of money. Now, I don't know how anyone could possibly lose $32,000. I'm going to guess most of those big losses are coming from the F-150 Lightning. But the thing to keep in mind in here is their EV sales are really not delivering on what Ford said they would this year. I mean, they got beaten this year, first 6 months of the year. Hyundai Kia beat them in EV sales. They don't even make EVs in the US. General Motors sold nearly twice as many EVs. And, Ford is nearly about to get caught by the Volkswagen group in EV sales. Volkswagen brand is barely significant in the US. That's an incredible situation to be in, considering all the different EVs that Ford now has. They have vans, they have pickups. I mean, they have SUVs. They have got a different electric SUV plus the Mach E in Europe. There's quite a few models here, but Ford are in a pretty tough situation. They have a lot of cars sitting in inventory and they're losing a lot of money on every car they sell. It's really not a surprise that Model E continues to lose billions, says Ford Authority, given the fact that Ford has been clear regarding the fact that it doesn't expect the division to turn a profit until 2026 at the earliest, shortly after its second generation EVs enter production, riding on dedicated platforms and sporting lower costs. Where are all those lower costs from? How can Ford lower their costs so they're not losing $32,000 per car? Ridiculous. I can't believe I just said that. LFP batteries, lithium iron phosphate battery packs, is what Ford needs. It wants to build a factory in the US. It's trying to get a permit to do so, to manufacture lithium iron phosphate cells, which will be significantly cheaper. It wants to make the same battery cells as what is going new Teslas, M3P batteries. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are doped with manganese. They are very, very affordable, much cheaper than the battery packs that Ford use in most of their EVs now, 95% of their EVs. Much cheaper. They're higher energy density than you would think. They're actually getting pretty close to the existing lithium ternary like NMC batteries. They have a longer lifespan and they're less likely to have problems and faults. Like Ford's had a lot of problems with their battery packs. We've seen them all. GM have as well. I mean, obviously Tesla haven't. It's true that Tesla haven't en masse. Their batteries actually last a very long time. And one of the reasons for that, I think, is the software, but also the battery chemistry. Now, the standard range Model 3s and Model Ys now all come with, well, almost all of them come with lithium iron phosphate battery packs. They're cheaper. And like I said, that is the solution, I believe, to Ford's cost problems. It can help them bring down the cost because the single biggest cost by far in their cars is battery packs. Now, this leads me to the concern here that I have, that Ford are paying way too much for their battery packs. I don't know why, because this is the only possible conclusion we can draw here. What else is in an EV? What are the other major things you've got to pay for? Now, there are other things as motors, but they're not all that expensive. Now, there's inverters, there's various things, but really all those things, everyone's paying pretty much the same price for them. Why is Ford paying so much then? Well, I think they're paying a lot for their battery packs. That problem they can't solve. That's the problem here. The real thing is here, Ford need this battery factory. They need LFP batteries because to solve this problem, they need to be able to get these affordable batteries into their cars. And that won't happen, I think, for a couple of years. Ford do have the cheapest version of the Mach E has LFP batteries. No one knows if Ford makes a profit or a loss on that. Now, Jim Farley has said he's not concerned by the fact that Ford's Mustang Mach E has 115 days of inventory. It's just heaps of them in dealers that they're not selling. He's not concerned that Ford's EV sales are pretty abysmal this year. That, to me, it's worth questioning if Jim is being honest here. I don't think he is. I think he has to be concerned because Ford has to sell EVs. It's the future. It's what's coming. And Ford, if they're going to be losing $32,000 now, let's say they massively decrease that loss to $10,000 US, that's still a disaster for Ford. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.